I'm 38 years old. I don't want to settle or compromise. I have a degree, a good job, and I'm single.
It's not just the US. Subscribe. Let's talk about it.
I'm 38 years old. I don't want to settle or compromise. I have a degree, a good job, and I'm single. I just want to find someone who's also single. My annual income is 500,000 yuan. Why can't I find someone with the same? I just want someone who is a good match. Why is it so hard?
For those of you curious, that is about $74,000 US. So sometimes other countries are, because of their makeup, because of their own political prowess or laws they put in, they enacted, there sometimes is a crystal ball ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. So we can look and see, okay, you're experiencing the same things that we might be experiencing in the next upcoming years, 5-10 years ahead of us. China has a unique little issue because of the one-child policy for such a long time. However, what I'm using this video is to simply highlight that it's not just an issue in the United States. It's a westernized sort of issue. Even in China, even in Japan, you have this concept, this idea, if you want to call it because of equality, if you want to call it because of feminism, whatever you want to call it. Right now, it sounds bad to hear it, but yes, the more successful you are as a woman, you start to price out yourself from the market. There's just not enough high quality men to go around, because let's make no mistake, absolutely no mistake, it's not just that she's looking for a good man. You have to have the qualities that she's still looking for. Even though she's saying, I make this, there's a reason in her rant she's saying this. It's because you still need to have those qualifications. In China, and sometimes they're a lot more frank, they're a lot more out front with it. Some of these things that you hear in terms of dowry, in terms of he has to have a house, he has to buy me a car, he has to buy me a house. These things become stringent, and the men in turn, they're a lot crueler than we are over here. They're much more blunt, and they're saying, you're just too old, right? You were too old about 10 years ago. That's how they look at it. So when you're screaming, when you're yelling, you're crying like this, yes, because you're looking at the very real future of like, you're going to be by yourself. This is the reality. But we focusing back here in the States, listen, when you're successful, you end up pricing yourself out the game because you are looking for a man that is also that successful. The imbalance or the miscalculation in the game is that you are not looking to see what do men that you want, what do they want. You end up not being your type's type. You focus on the schoolwork, you focus on the career, you focus on building yourself up in terms of monetarily, in terms of accolades, in terms of degrees, and then you kind of leave out the things that those men are actually looking for. You don't really pay much attention to your physique. You don't pay much attention to your character. You're more aggressive, you're more demanding. And those men, they're not going to appreciate what you would appreciate. You think because we tend to let women look at the world in their sort of way and assume everyone else in the world thinks like that, especially men. If going out, if trying new restaurants, going to museums, traveling, if these things are important to me, why is it not important to that man? This is the disconnect that we hardly stop and point out. When you look at the world and you only look at the world from your worldview, when other people don't adhere to that, you end up confused. You value degrees, you value home ownership, you value money in a partner. And then you turn around and expect, well, in order for me to be more attractive to someone else, to the males, to men, I know I need to have these things that I've put under what is attraction. Then you go out to the wider market and you're not getting those guys that you want. You're not getting the type of relationships you want. You're getting attention. You're always going to get that. You're born the right gender for that. You're always going to get attention, but the men that you're actually looking for, even if you get their attention, you don't get the intention of marriage. You don't get the intention of actually building something together. They're there for, a good time. And that's about it. Then you come out to the wider market and you say, what's wrong with men? No, you're the issue here. Not that we're telling you to settle, not that we're telling you how to change up your dating standards, but when there's incongruity, you have to go back to the source and realize men aren't really going to change in mass. You're not going to get enough of them to say, yes, I'm going to value what you value, and I'm going to ignore biologically sort of what I feel like is important to me. In order to get you what you want, I'm going to ignore what I want. You don't want to be with someone that's not attracted to you. You don't want to be with someone that doesn't find you appealing, that doesn't want to rip your clothes off, or at least doesn't appreciate the physicality of you. You want to be with someone that also has that, but respects you enough not to assault you with it. So when you come out here and you say, well, I can only talk to this level of guys because of my own inherent success. Okay. It just so happens those guys are not looking your way, like, at all. You're just like the poor men, the men that aren't attracted to you, the one that's bagging your groceries. He's kind of invisible to you. You don't realize he was trying to get your attention. He was trying to hit at you. The cashier at the supermarket, he was trying to hit at you. He was trying to shoot a shot. The bag boy, he was trying to shoot a shot. Nothing. None of that matters. You didn't see that. It's beneath you. Well, to some of these other guys, that's you. It's a hard thing to understand because you've dedicated such a large swath of your life to becoming the person you are. Yet that one area in life, that relationship status thing, is not in tow. It's not in lockstep with it. And you confuse why. Well, when men say it, and the men have been saying it, we have this issue where we just don't listen to them. We think these men don't know what men want. Okay, you can always fall back on the idea that there's some man out there for me. There's someone out there for me that believes and likes and loves the things that he's going to love every inch of me. Yes, probably. Does it exist? Probably. There's a chance of it happening. But if you haven't came across it in your daily moves, where you go to work, back from work, the places you go out, in your daily life, you haven't seen it in a week, in a month, in years, in 5 years, in a decade, you've never come across this man. Do you think the chances are tomorrow that you just might? And maybe because we all become addicted or to playing the lottery, or make it seem like the lottery is a fine retirement choice, that we're fine doing the same thing again and again and again. Now, again, we're not saying that you should settle, but we want to help you realize and look at one, specific truth. When you equate your degrees, your salary, your success as in the business realm as attraction, this is what is really setting the delusion, and the delusion is the issue. Not that you're settling. You think this is settling. Getting with a man that makes less than me is settling for a man. Well, you were taught that because you think this is what attraction, this is part of the attraction. Okay. I'm not saying you don't have to stop that. I'm not saying you have to take that away. But as long as you adhere to that, those men making more than you, more than 6 figures, he's still going to want what he wants. We haven't moved the needle at all. And he's not in a position where he has to settle. A lot of us men work our asses off to get to a position where we don't have to settle. If we're not going to get the thing that we want, we'd rather not have the thing that, anything at all. And you feel the same way. Women come on here and feel the exact same way. If you can't get what you want, the type of man you want, you're fine. Finish out your days alone. So those men. But there's nothing you can do to bring their attention down to you seriously for long-term commitment outside of starting to be what they're looking for. Now, some of you can do that because some of you are attractive, successful, and all this. But even then, how many women get on here and say, I know so many great, attractive, successful women that can't get a date, that can't get a man, that are single. Why? Because you're not what those men that you want. You're not your type's type. Now listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on the screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. I'm trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.